All right, friends, it's your boy, Mr. Shaggy, coming at you with Unit 3, Lesson 4, Scale Relationships homework. So question 1 says, select all statements that must be true for any scaled copy of Q, any scaled copy Q of polygon P. So this is polygon P, so if I make a scaled copy of this, what has to be true? So the side lengths are all whole numbers. Well, we don't know what the side lengths currently are, so I have no idea if the side lengths are going to be whole numbers in the future, so I can't know that off the top of my head. The angle measures are all whole numbers. Looking at what they do give us, the angle measures, those are all whole numbers, and we know that all the angle measurements in a scaled copy have to be the same, so that is true. Q has exactly one right angle. Well, looking at this, there's only one right angle, so that's also true, that Q will also have one right angle as well. If the scale factor between P and Q is 1/5, then each side length of P is multiplied by 1/5 to get the corresponding side length of Q. True, if we know the scale factor is 1/5, then each of those side lengths have to be multiplied by the same number. That's also a true statement. If the scale factor is 2, each angle, see this is a no, each angle is not affected by scale factor. Q2 has Q has 2 acute angles. So currently in this figure you have 2 acute angles. That means that you have 2 angle measurements that are less than 90 degrees, so that is true. And then 3 obtuse angles. That is greater than 90, that is greater than 90, that is greater than 90, so that is also a true statement. So B, C, and D are all true statements. In question 2, it says, here's a quadrilateral ABC. Quadrilateral PQRS is a scaled copy of quadrilateral ABCD. Point P corresponds to point A, Q to B, R to C, and S to D. If the distance from P to R is 3 units, so I want to go ahead and mark this with the things that correspond. So we're saying that P is A, right? And then Q is B, R is C, and S is D. And they're saying from P to R. So from A to C, that's what we're looking at. A to C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know A to C is 6 units. They're saying that P to C is 3 units. So if that is, 3, and then so it's saying if the distance from P to R is 3 units, now that this is 6 units, that means that's divided by 2 was the distance from Q to S. So Q to S is going to be half of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to be half of 6, so Q distance between that is also 3. And so how I gathered that is that I knew that A to C, segment AC, is 6 units according to what I can see here, right? And they told me that P to R is 3. So what's happening here? I'm dividing by 2. So then I have to find the side length that corresponds to that. That's BD. BD is 6, so BD is 6 units. So then I divided that by 2. And that gives me that QS is equal to 3. And so that's kind of how I use my reasoning to get me there on that question. All right, question number 3 says figure 2 is a scaled copy of figure 1. And so figure 2 is a scaled copy of this. Identify the points in figure 2 that correspond to points A and C in figure 1. So we have to mark on this, and label them P and R. So A is now P, and R is now over here. What is the distance between P and R? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like that is a distance of 6 units there. And so we're going to write that 6 units. Identify the points in figure 1 that correspond to the points QS. So QS is there. We're going to label them BD. So this is BD. What is the distance between BD? 1, 2, 3 units. What is the scale factor that takes figure 1 to figure 2? So from 3, so this is the problem. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So scale factor there is times 3. So times 3. Scale factor is 3. So what that means is that we have to, look at this and say, okay, I have to measure that side, and then I have to do the corresponding side to see the scale factor. The last one says to make a 1 batch of lavender paint, the ratio of cups of pink paint to cups of blue paint is 6:5. Find 2 more ratios of cups of pink paint to cups of blue paint that are equivalent to this ratio. So I have 6/5. This is pink, blue, and I have to find 2 other ones that are equivalent. I'm just going to times both of them by 2. That's 12/10. That's an equivalent one. And then I can times them both by 3. That's 18/15. That's also an equivalent ratio. And so what I'm doing is I'm just scaling this up. So if I wanted to make more paint, right, I could scale it up by multiplying it by 2 or multiplying it by 3. I can also cut it in half if I wanted to. So I can go backwards from this and say 3/2.5. That's also an equivalent ratio. So this is connecting your understanding of equivalent ratios to scaling, as well as if you're trying to mix, more paint along the way. So that's our video for tomorrow's homework. I can't wait to see you.